Once you're logged into Yearbook Avenue, to get to Monarch InDesign, you're going to go to the Create tab, and then you're going to see Monarch by Jostens. I highly recommend you right-click and open this in a new tab, or you control-click it to open it in a new tab up at the top of your frame or your browser. The reason that is because once you go to it, it navigates you away from Yearbook Avenue, and sometimes we need to be on both. So in this new tab for New Antics Frame, essentially, remember, we are what we're doing here is we are remote desktopping into another computer. So you are on a computer, but you're accessing a computer in California. So when you click on any of these, it's going to remote desktop you into that computer, which means that you have to remember that we're trying to use your internet and your bandwidth and all those kinds of things to bring it through. So sometimes there's some latency issues, some lag, and then copying and pasting kind of gets different. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up Adobe InDesign. So we call it Monarch only because that's what Jostens is calling it, but really what we're learning is how to use Adobe InDesign. So in Adobe InDesign, once it loads, it will load the whole session and bring you into the program and bring it up on your screen. Depending on how big your screen is, that's how wide the screen for Adobe InDesign is going to be. Once Adobe InDesign loads, it will look like this. You can even see, like in the bottom down here, it's showing you what your bandwidth is. It's showing you like how bad is your latency and how long you're in here. It's really important that when you're in InDesign that you are saving your work constantly, because you're on another computer and you could be kicked off that computer at any time. In addition, if you let it sit there for more than 15 minutes, it usually kicks you off because you have an inactive session. So it's important that you're saving your work constantly. This is how InDesign looks on your computer or in a remote desktop, doesn't really matter. But what I want to show you around is that you've got these drop-down menus up at the top of here, like File, Edit, Layout, all that kind of stuff. And these gives you tons of options of what you can do in the program. And we'll use these sometimes, but there's going to be few things that we use up here that are very, very common. On the left over here, you have your toolbar, and you can see all these different tools. And up at the top, there's a secondary toolbar that also shows you more options for the tools that you're selected on. So keep in mind that you have tools here, but then you have a secondary toolbar up here with more options, like things like rotation. You can see this is rotating, width and height. You can see like this is coloring and stroke, all that kind of stuff. Lots of things that we're going to be using. Over on the right over here, you have what's called panels. So we have Monarch, pages, swatches, layers, all these different panels, and there's even more panels under window. So if I go to window here, you can see all these different panels that I could be using in this program, which give you more options. So when you see, you can click on pages here, it'll open up the pages panel. When you have pages open, swatches will open up swatches, layers, character styles, paragraph styles, all of these different things. And then Monarch essentially is just like how Jostens, our publishing program, brings in tools for us to use. And we will be using these a lot. So you can see page tools, photo tools, organize, and essential tools. The first option is Page Wizard. And when you hover over it, it'll say Page Wizard. And if you click that, this is how you're going to navigate to open up pages in our yearbook. And the Page Wizard will show you the ability to create new spreads or open and modify spreads. You're going to want to go to Open and Modify, because I or your editor-in-chief will be creating spreads for you, and then you can open or modify spreads based off a deadline. So you can go through deadlines, and then you can go through the different weeks and open them up. So keep in mind that when you're opening pages in InDesign, you must always be using the Page Wizard. You should not be going to File Open. File Open is the incorrect way to open it, because the Page Wizard in Jostens is actually doing a lot in the background for you that you don't realize. So it's very important that you open and modify spreads from the Page Wizard.